Welcome to my D&D Beyond step-by-step homebrewing tutorial. I'm Nosfro. Today we look at a unique homebrew I was asked about. From the mind of Discord member Masked Identity 2001, I will brew my version of their living weapon, the Evertree Spear. This weapon grows and gains new abilities depending upon the level of the wielder. This proved to be a challenge to the limited item homebrew system, but thanks to some clever thinking, we managed to get working in a way that they liked. Are you ready? Because we are about to begin. As this homebrew is to make a magic weapon, one would think that we would start with the Create a Magic Item interface. However, we actually aren't. Items do not have a very good homebrewing interface, as they only allow spells and modifiers to be added to a magic item. For a living weapon, where the abilities grow and evolve over time, not being able to add actions is a major issue. So instead, we're going to have to create a living spell. So load up that D&D Beyond website. Scroll on up to the collections drop-down menu, and then move your cursor over to the Create Spell button. When the page loads up, click the Create from Scratch button. When the page loads, let's insert in that spell name field, Spirit of the Evertree. Don't forget to add the little homebrew indicator. On the version field, let's type in 1.0. And spell level dropdown, switch that to first level, as there is a bug in the homebrew system. It does not allow a class not designed for that spell to use it. We'll get more into that a little bit later. In the spell school dropdown, let's select evocation. For casting time, we're going to use 1 action. And then for all the components, we're going to have all of them. And the material components is a piece of the Evertree. For spell range type, we're going to do ranged for 30 feet. And the duration is going to be instantaneous. For the description, I'm going to paste in what Masked Identity 2001 worked out with me. As you can see, the spell will evolve and change over time. And all we need to do is now just brew in the scaling. Speaking of scaling, let's scroll down to the At Higher Level Scaling button and click it. Scaling type should be from character level. And we need to select at least one class for this spell, so I'm going to select Druid. Scroll on down to that purple Create Spell button and click it. When the page loads up, scroll on down to that blue Add a Modifier button and click it. For modifier type, we're going to choose damage. For subtype, we're going to choose radiant. For dice count, we're going to do 0. For die type, we're going to choose D6. Now, why a 0 dice count D6? We need a modifier to scale up. And for the first 4 levels, this spirit doesn't actually allow you to use any of its abilities. Scroll on over to that blue save button and click it. Now, let's start working on the Add Higher Levels button. Scaling level value, we're going to choose level 5. Modifier to scale, we're going to choose our damage. Scale effect, we're going to choose additional points. Now at level 5, this is going to be a 2d6. Go ahead and press that save button. When that page reloads, we're going to do this 3 more times. Click that blue Add a Higher Level button. This time for level 10. Same modifier to scale. We're still going to choose additional points. And this time it is going to be 3d6. Click that blue save button. All right, we're back. Add another higher level, this time scaling level 15. Same modifier to scale. Additional points. We're doing a dice count of 4d6. Click that blue save button. And for our final scaling value, at level 20, we're going to scale our modifier, additional points, to 5d6. Click that blue save button. Now we have added all of the scaling that we need for this spell. However, we haven't added all the information in the additional information section. So scroll on up, click the additional information section, and select attack type. It needs to be ranged. Go ahead and minimize that and click that purple Save Changes button. Okay, we are all done with the Spirit of the Evertree scaling feature. Now that we are done with the spell, let's start creating the actual magic item. So scroll on up to the Collections dropdown and then click on Create Magic Item. When the page loads, click the Create from Scratch button. Now, we need to start typing in our magic item. This is going to be a +1 Evertree Spear. Don't forget to add that little homebrew for the version. It's version 1.0. For rarity, we're going to put, this is an artifact. For the base item type, it is a weapon, which then opens up our base weapon, which is a spear. And this spear requires attunement. What is our attunement description? Our attunement description is holding onto this spear and communing with it over a short rest. Now for the description field, I'm going to paste in what Maxed Identity 2001 wrote for it. We are finished with the base information with the magic item, so go ahead and go to that blue Create Magic Item button and click it. When the page reloads, we want to add some additional information. We want to add charges. So click that Has Charges button, then go over to the number of charges field and type in 3. The charges reset condition, I forgot to almost add there, is a long rest. Go ahead and minimize that and press that Save Changes button. Now, when the page reloads, we need to add that +1 to our magic weapon. So go to the modifiers and add a modifier. Modifier type is going to be bonus. Modifier subtype is going to be magic. And then we're going to scroll over to the fixed value field and type in 1. We don't need the +1 for attunement. So go ahead and press save. The page reloads. Scroll on down to that Add a Spell button and click it. Click on the spell name dropdown and type in Evertree. For the min spell charges field, type in 1. Same thing for the max spell charges. Go ahead and press the save button. Now we have finished adding and creating our living weapon. Go ahead and press that Save Changes button one more time. Now that we've finished brewing up this magic weapon, let's go ahead and see what it looks like on a character sheet. On my other tab, I have my character sheet. This is a level 4 druid. And let's go ahead and add to the inventory the Evertree Spear. add it to my equipment. Let's click on the spear. Let's equip it. And let's also attune to it. If we take a look at our actions, we can see the Spirit of the Evertrees in our Actions tab. However, there isn't any damage to it. Now, this is intentional, right? Let's take a look at what happens when we scale up our character to level 5. Scale up to level 5. And resume again. When the page reloads, we can now see that the Spirit of the Evertree now does 2d6 radiant damage. Let's see what happens when we scale it to level 11. Slightly higher than level 10. Save changes, and now we're at 3d6. So let's go ahead and scale this all the way. Let's go all the way to level 20. Save changes. We can see that the Spirit of the Evertree damage is scaling up to 5d6 already. Now, most of the spell effects need to be done via the spell description, because there are different abilities that this spell may have, but they're not possible to really program into this homebrew system. So we're going to have to work with the DM a little bit on that, right? However, the scaling factor for the damage is done appropriately and is handled accordingly. Let's wrap up this video. Today, we did a true homebrew of a weapon which scales its abilities to the character level. We worked around the limitations of the magic item homebrewing system by implementing a scaling spell to handle the scaling dice rolls and use the description of the spell for the different spell effects. Big shout out and thanks to Masked Identity 2001 for this lovely homebrew. If you liked what you saw, click that like button. If you enjoyed the content and want to be notified when I post more, hit that subscribe button. If you have something specific you want me to homebrew, contact me through Discord at Gaming with Nosfro or via email, both of which can be found in the description below. Thanks for watching. Until next time.